This video is going to demonstrate how a hacker can hack into a fully up-to-date with the latest antivirus security software and patches for Windows 8.1 using various penetration testing software tools available online and free to use. And at the time of this video this was possible, but later down the road this might have been addressed and it might be a little different to do this. So please take in mind that at the time of this video this was possible to do. Here the victim is logging into their machine before they surf the web. Here we can see the machine is running Windows 8.1, fully up to date. Here we are checking to see if there's any updates available for this particular antivirus software. Antivirus is showing that the antivirus database is fully up to date with all the latest antivirus detections. And we're now going to switch over to the hacker machine and log right in and start up the tools needed to perform the attack. Since we're going to be doing this over a network, we're going to need to connect to the wireless network that the victim is connected to over wireless. Now we're going to need to start the services required to use the penetration testing tools. And now we're going to go ahead and locate the bFramework service and start it up. I'm going to go ahead and cd to the directory that Veal is installed in, and then go ahead and set up our payload that we're going to use for attacking the victim's machine. Here we're going to use the list command to go ahead and list the payloads that are available for us to use. Here I'm deciding to go with the Python shellcode inject AES encryption payload. This part I'm just going to leave as default and go ahead and start to generate the payload. For this part I just decided to go with option 1, which is MSF Venom shellcode, and I'm also going to use a Meterpreter reverse TCP payload for this one. From here I need to set up the lhost, which I'm going to go ahead and grab in just a second, and I'll also need to set up a port on which the reverse TCP is going to listen on. Alright, while the payload is being generated, I'm going to go ahead and start up Armitage real quick. I'm going to go ahead and give my payload a name, and then after I give my payload a name, I'm going to use a payload executable, which is going to be a PyInstaller by default, which is option 1. From here I'm going to go ahead and copy the path to where the payload is and send it over to the var www directory on the hacker's machine. Here I'm going to go ahead and start up lands.py. Lands.py is going to be used to inject a BFrameworks hook into the victim's browser for any website the victim goes to. Alright, so on Armitage I'm going to go ahead and set up a port listening on 1337 using an interpreter. Lands.py is now going to go ahead and start a Nmap scan to see if our victim's machine is up and running. From here I'm going to copy down the victim's LAN IP address, and then lands.py is going to go ahead and start injecting traffic with the BFrameworks hook. From here I'm going to go ahead and log into the browser exploitation frameworks. Alright, so now we're going to switch over to the victim's machine, and the victim's going to go surf the web. Alright, now on the hacker's machine we can see that we got the victim's browser hooked with the browser exploitation framework. We're going to go ahead and now use Clippy under the social engineering tools list of the browser exploitation framework and go ahead and use Clippy to deploy our payload. Now back on the victim's machine, while the victim is surfing the web, the victim will notice a Clippy icon that says that their browser is outdated. Once the victim actually clicks on the Clippy icon and downloads the executable file and runs it, we will be given a Meterpreter reverse TCP connection to their machine. So switching over to the hacker's machine, if we look at Armitage on the screen here, we can see that the victim did run our payload. This now means that the victim's machine has been owned, and from here we can perform a variety of attacks using the Armitage and the Metasploit framework options. Be sure to check out MatthewHKnight.com for more ethical hacking videos like this.